if you can kind of find a way to meet people where they are and start with what they know, then it just gives them another way of dancing with you.
Send me shivers down my spine.
I've just been doing Dance in the World for the past 30 years. It's kind of the way I participate. And to have someone notice the impact of that and decide to make a documentary movie saying this is a story about art in America and one that we think needs to be told and seen. It was kind of daunting. At first it was like, okay, well, but only for 5 minutes. So now it's a movie about the impact of art in America. And then the filmmakers said, yes, they're going to take it to film festivals and all that kind of stuff, but they gave it to me as something to support the work. And I think I called East Carolina way back in August before the film was even out, because I knew the first place I wanted to bring this was to Greenville, to the place where that nurtured my love of dance, that nurtured my skills, that gave me the push to do this work in the world. At Black Box, we make dances with people. And one of the things that I'm driven toward is the human story. So that kind of was the basis of who Black Box is. We say we're a nonfiction dance company. And it was the North Carolina Arts Council that asked if we would be a part of something called a Warrior Reset. And I don't know, they thought it was a good idea. So we went in and we did this 2-hour dance workshop. This is back in 2016 with about 40 active duty soldiers. And I think we were all surprised at how powerful it was. I think we were all kind of crying, and it was overwhelming for the dancers because we weren't expecting this reaction. It was really overwhelming for them. But then that started a series where we did Warrior Resets for the next 6 years for the USO, and it just became a part of our work. And their stories were compelling. They were funny. They were tragic. They were just, a way for us to learn more about who these people were, and we made dances from them. And at the end of the day, it became just this work of art that it wasn't for military people, and it really wasn't for dancers either. It was just for, I think for human beings.
So I'm a military kid. My father was in the service for 24 years. And I saw this film as a connection of two really, really major parts of my life. And to be able to see the effect that dance has had on veterans for the better, you don't often think of dance being able to do these kinds of things because it's not, like they said, that it's not therapy. They're not trained therapists. It's just artists. And they've been able to impact so many lives in such a positive way.
Working with Michelle, it's always inspiring. But when you see somebody who, one of the, not characters, but one of the participants in the project had been living outside of society for 40 years. And for that person to connect and transform in that process, it was pretty emotional. It's a pretty emotional ride, that the film, and the work is, and I feel very fortunate they performed it in this space. So I also had kind of memories of the piece and that process, and our students performed with them, and it was amazing. Yeah.
I want to make connections that don't exist. I want to communicate something. I mean, it's what modern dancers have been doing for over 100 years. So I loved it.
The company's impact on me as a dancer has really strived me to become better and better each day, because they are really supportive and they see dance as movement rather than talent, I would say.
I'm really, really grateful that
they showed the film here at ECU. I think it shows like how impactful art is, like, and how much it really does contribute like to the world today, and how much of a positive impact it can have. And I think it broadens like the horizons of what like dance can do, and like what like the value of getting a degree in dance actually is. It's really powerful to like open up the eyes of everybody, not just dancers, really how powerful like art is and like how great of a thing it is to the world.
We're thrilled to be like connected with the dancers here. I feel a connection to the dancers here. I would love for them to pick up like where we are now, to enter this work here. I would love to see where it goes 20 years from now. You know, we don't have to start at ground zero. Like let each other learn from where we are, because there are methods and there are processes that we got from, you know, the old school of hard knocks. You know, you tell something and people like don't do it. So you're like, okay, that didn't work. Let's try something different. Let's try something else. And so we've done that. And now we are hoping just to engage more dancers, more artists into this work and see where they take it.